West Point Mamba Lowkings are gonna hold down.
As a team, fast-paced gameplay, they struggle. I want to see how much of that chemistry they've built already. Great opener coming through, and you see all of those hit mark checkers coming on through. All of those stuns do connect, and it's the West Point Mamba Lowkings opening up the hill.
Yep, and they're gonna get in there first, but Broke Boys is not gonna make it easy. They're gonna try to go in for the retake. They're gonna take it for a couple of seconds, but it's gonna go back right to the hands of the Lowkings, and Lowkings starting to rack up points now. They're gonna try to widen the gap as soon as possible because they don't want to make it close. And well, AJ, it seems like, well, for the start of the match at least, it's not looking very good for the Broke Boys right now.
I mean, it's the West Point Mamba Lowkings, so I expect nothing less from them. The Broke Boys Club are going to have a tough time here. It's all about the adjustments. It's all about how they hop on right back into the hill. And I think they've done a really pretty decent job here. They haven't been anchoring down any spawns, though, which just makes me feel like they don't really have good control. The pace of the matchup right now is being dictated by the West Point Mamba Lowkings. Broke Boys Club are just spawning all over the place, and they're just running towards the hill without a solid plan. Makes me a little bit worried, but look at the scoreline, 19-24. The game is not out of their hands just yet. And a good rotation coming on through by player number 2. It's 7 from the side of Broke Boys Club, who goes on to anchor the gas station. They take away the spawn for P2, but look at West Point Mamba Lowkings. They've already got 2, make that 3, make that 4 players now at the objective, but the Broke Boys Club break through them, and they hold on to the hill.
Yep, and now West Point Mamba Lowkings are actually going to be able to make the break, but the question is, are they going to be able to maintain it? Because Broke Boys is going to go around there trying to surround them and kick them out of that point. But for now, the West Point Mamba Lowkings are going to hold down the fort here. And it looks like they're going to try to start racking up more points once again, widening that gap just as I said a while ago. And here, we can see that the Broke Boys are trying to go in for another break, AJ, but for some reason, they're not going to be able to win most of their gunfights, and they're gonna lose that.
I'm not surprised to see that the West Point Mamba Lowkings, they are really poisonous with all of their bites. The moment they hop on into the hill, they strike with such ferocity that the Broke Boys Club just were not able to keep up with them. Yes, they do pick up some trap points, that it's mainly because the Snakes have already slithered away to hold on to a good anchor spot at the Special Forces base for P3. This is pretty much a money hill if you can anchor down grannies, and it looks like the West Point Mamba Lowkings are going to try to do exactly that. A couple of roamers outside towards the private backyard as well as Special Forces Avenue. Going to try to hold on to the anchor, but great job done by Z-Man as well as his CBR4. They take it away. They take that anchor spawn away first before stepping up into the hill. This is what I want to see from the Broke Boys Club. A little bit of strategy played on this map.
Yep, they're actually trying to change things up and try to counter West Point Mamba Lowkings strategy instead of playing the normal strategies that you would see. And I think that's paying off a little bit for them. They're catching West Point Mamba Lowkings a little off guard here.
Yeah.
And that's something that they're not ready for. And that's gonna play towards give an advantage to Broke Boys Club. And here we can see that they're actually doing pretty well into breaking into this hard point, and it looks like they're gonna get the scrap time here. Last 15 seconds left. Our players are going to start rotating to the next one. Not a wide gap between the two teams just yet, so there's still a chance for Broke Boys to actually take the lead here if they continue this momentum that they have.
I absolutely agree with you, Wasabi. I feel like the main reason why the Broke Boys Club are so close to the West Point Mamba Lowkings is because we see that adjustment being forced by them, not through their mechanical skills, because that's not something that you can repair within 1 week's time, but your strategy you surely can fix. Your strategy you surely can work on, and they're playing this down to the T, but they're unable to hold on to the hill because of the strategy played by the West Point Mamba Lowkings as well. Double stuns in, they pause the players, they whoop all of them out of the hill, and now it's the hill of the West Point Mamba Lowkings. 38 more seconds to go. Claw investment by PJ. It all goes, bounce it off, but Josh says hello. Say hello to my little sparrow, and it's gonna be the gravity vortex that pops out as well. Josh cannot step on in. West Point Mamba Lowkings still hold on to the bakery.
Well, that investment could have given them the point, but unfortunately, West Point Mamba has just such a good strategy, such a good hold on this hard point. And as we can see here, they're just destroying Broke Boys right now, especially in this current hard point. And they're just taking this as an opportunity to widen the gap. And you know, I think the reason why West Point Mamba Lowkings has such a great lead over Broke Boys is because they have such good strategy. They have
Yeah.
a lot of experience over Broke Boys, and they're really taking that to their advantage here. And you can really see how much it pays off to work as hard as West Point Mamba Lowkings has done.
It does not always pay to go in and rush and take that backstab against your opponents, especially in hardpoint, because of the dynamic respawns. And what you see being done by West Point Mamba Lowkings at Bakery, the previous hardpoint, is the fact that they all hold on to one angle from that Bakery backyard, because they know as long as they don't overextend, the spawn point for the Broke Boys Club is only going to come through from one side. So all they need to do is just have one player watch their backs, everybody else shut down that one door, and Bakery's all theirs, baby. West Point Mamba Lowkings playing this map down to the T. Broke Boys Club may have been able to bring in some adjustments, but the kings of standoff hardpoint right now in this matchup is the West Point Mamba Lowkings, no doubt whatsoever. Compile that, or you pair that up with a little superior gun skills on the side of West Point Mamba Lowkings, Broke Boys Club might just lose this game, but we still have got halfway more to go for the Broke Boys Club. So maybe those adjustments can still come through, Wasabi.
They still have a little bit of fight in them, and as long as they maintain that, there are going to be possibilities for adjustments to be made, and it looks like they're doing that exactly now, because they're going to be the first ones to that second hard point. They're going to maintain the spawn here and hold it from West Point Mamba Lowkings. As we can see, they're finally holding the spawn, the hill here, and they're starting to rack up more points, slowly inching their way towards the score of West Point Mamba Lowkings. And if they're going to be able to maintain this, hold it down, they might be able to catch up. But West Point Mamba Lowkings is going to say no to that and break into the hill right now, taking it from Broke Boys. But Freezy here with a big play, getting it back. Solo push.
Freezy is just an absolute monster right now. He's on a roll. All thanks to his sticky. He gets the fourth kill as well. But unfortunately for him, PJ shows up with the CBR4. Shuts him down. Kalo takes a kill as well. And it's now the hill of the West Point Mamba Lowkings. But the Snakes are being forced to eat up a little bit of scrap points as the Broke Boys Club move on through for an early rotation only to be wasted. They're trying to anchor down the spawns. Wait for that backup. That might not be the most terrible decision made out there by the Broke Boys Club. They're just buying some time, and it has paid off. They do get the opener on the hill.
Once again, they're going to get the opener on the hill, just as AJ said, and they're going to try to hold this down. As we can see here, Freezy doing so well as an objective player, maintaining the hill here and keeping out the players of West Point Mamba Lowkings. And unfortunately, he does get taken down here. PJ investing into the claw to maintain the hold on this hill. They know how important this is for them, because if they give it to the Broke Boys Club, they're going to be able to catch up to West Point Mamba. So West Point Mamba trying to prevent this from happening. They're playing everything they've got here to maintain that lead that they have.
Yeah, the Broke Boys Club, for me, in my books, this is a huge win for the Broke Boys Club, because I see tremendous improvement on hardpoint. I'm not expecting a lot within this tournament in itself. It's just way too little of time for them to really get that chemistry going. But for such a performance against the West Point Mamba Lowkings, to be able to break some of the strategy of the West Point Mamba Lowkings, to keep up with some of their gunfights, is really commendable. The Broke Boys Club are doing a phenomenal job. They might not be able to give away their 3-0 to Lowkings. Lowkings better watch out, because the Broke Boys Club have woken up.
Something that we haven't noticed quite just yet is that Josh has actually been popping off. I mean, he has 32 kills already, and that's so huge, especially for his team. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're able to keep up with West Point Mamba Lowkings. But then again, if they're not playing that OBJ, they're gonna lose this game, especially with West Point Mamba Lowkings hitting that 200-point mark already. So now, Broke Boys Club has to go in for the break and make sure to take that as soon as possible, because the longer they wait, the closer their enemy gets to that winning score.
This time, West Point Mamba Lowkings, second time playing Bakery, they switch up their strategy. Instead of holding the Bakery backyard, they're actually holding on to the Guerrilla base. You see the switch of momentum now forcing the Broke Boys Club to spawn out of the private backyard. Instead, it's the exact same strategy played in the opposite way. This is just brilliant strategy coming out of the West Point Mamba Lowkings, not allowing their opponents to catch up with them in terms of strategy and always keeping them on the toes. Kudos to West Point Mamba Lowkings. What a beautiful